Hey, everybody, and welcome to Fun and Reviews Live. So, who do we have here in chat? Feel free to say hi and uh, ask your questions if you have any. I guess we'll start with news while we wait for someone to talk. Uh, let's start with California, shall we? Well, that one's old news, but basically, one of the people had put a law in effect. Well, it goes into effect in January, but they voted on it, passed it, and it was signed, uh, saying that if you knowingly have sex and spread HIV or AIDS, it's no longer a felony, it is a misdemeanor, and I believe it's only 4 weeks in jail instead of the usual decade or two in prison. Welcome to Fun and Reviews Live. Hey, Amanda, how are you? The counter keeps going up and down, so I'm not sure if you're still there. This is Sorry, everybody. I'm still getting used to this, so I'm not sure how it's going. No worries, that's understandable, and welcome back. Uh, this is basically a question and answer thing. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. The other thing I was going to do was go for basically news. Also, I hope Opal feels better. All right, 1 second. Let me see how I can. There we go.
Hi, hi.
Hey there, how are you?
Tired.
That I can understand.
I shouldn't be. I went to bed at 5, but I've been tired since the other day. Guess I need more sleep. I'm working too hard.
That I can completely understand. 4 hour shift a few days ago, so
I passed out the other day. Um, I don't know. I felt like I'd ate enough that day and everything, but I was making mashed potatoes for all of my husband's work colleagues and everything. They were doing something at work the next day, and we're peeling potatoes together, and I suddenly felt lightheaded, so I started walking towards my bedroom, thinking I needed to lay down, and I don't even remember hitting the ground. My husband was waking me up, and I was telling him I needed some water, and he brought me water and candy to get my blood sugar back up, and I laid there for a while to get my heart rate back to normal, and felt better, but I've been tired ever since.
that means you usually need a little more rest. But I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, the last time that had happened to me, I was passing out a heck of a lot more than just the once. But I was pregnant, and they told me I was just barely dehydrated. So I guess I just react badly to getting dehydrated, and I work myself too hard. So I just drank some water and laid down.
Try some. I'm not sure if you have it in around where you live, but over here we got a place called the My Big Fat Greek Gyro. They have a. It's basically chicken soup with some vegetables, rice, and a little bit of lemon juice put in, and it seems to be a cure-all.
I've never had Greek food. That sounds kind of good though. I'll have to see if there is any place around here. I don't know. I don't think we do Greek food much here in Texas or around Dallas at least. I'll have to look. But that sounds delicious, actually.
It's actually pretty good, and when I went to work sick a few times, I stopped there for lunch, and right after a few bites, I just was right as rain.
Oh, you're making me want to go make myself food now. Anyway, news. You said you were going to talk about news or something, right? I'm always behind in the news.
All right. Did you hear the part about what's going on in California?
What are they doing now in California?
Uh, well, you know how in most places, if you have HIV or AIDS and you go out and knowingly spread it, it's a felony.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I've heard about that. Fucking disgusting. You get more jail time now if you misgender somebody in California than if you purposely spread HIV. How fucked up is that?
To me, that should be like a murder charge at least.
Yes. It's
But
that's if you intentionally spread it. They don't care. Intentionally. How fucked up.
let's
'Cause
see. I believe there was also another one where you have to be the worst of the worst of a sexual predator in order to be kept on the list, which tells me that you have to murder someone while you're raping them.
No, that's just good. I agree that in some places, especially like here in Texas, we have too many people on the list. There are people who can get on the list for getting drunk and they pee and somebody sees them, then you end up on the list. That shouldn't happen. There's there's kids within an age range that were dating each other that I don't think should end up on the list either, but they do. Um, but there are some people that absolutely definitely deserve to be on that list. If you are actually an adult messing with a child, you should be on the fucking list.
I agree with that. The way I see it, when a politician is pushing for laws like this, it's
They're a pedo.
because they're about to be caught for something,
Oh
and
yeah.
they're trying to make it so they can keep their job.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
I was gonna say I totally believe that because science tells us that 10% of people in jobs like that, high power, high pay jobs, like politicians, lawyers, doctors, surgeons, they're psychopaths, genuine psychopaths. So, yeah, I totally buy that they're pedos as well. Because they have no empathy. They have all this money. If you can get whatever you want, you're always doing worse and worse shit till eventually you get to the worst there is.
I'd like an investigation opened up into this guy to find out how many kids he raped and spread AIDS to.
Yes, anybody who wants to pass laws like this, we need to fucking look at.
And I was actually thinking of moving to California and running against this guy, and I already got the perfect tagline. I was telling Shaggy this a little while ago too.
What is it? What is it?
I don't want to give you AIDS.
And I want to lock up the pedos.
Oh no, I'm for bringing back crucifixion for those guys
Hell to the
and
yes.
girls.
I genuinely think that the death penalty should be a thing, but it should be reserved for serial killers, serial rapists, and pedophiles.
That crucifixion, I'm a little different than the old school ways. I'm uh, I'm for a nail one in each wrist like the old days, and one through both ankles like the old days, but another one for the testicles for pedophiles.
There you
Then
go.
then flip the cross or whatever you nail them to upside down and shake it a little.
And people get butt hurt when you're all, look, it's a disorder. I'll give them that. It's a disorder, and there's a very, very tiny minority percentage who realize they have a disorder. They seek help. They separate themselves from children. We have no problem with those people. They're separating themselves from children. They're taking care to treat their disorder. Fine with them. They're a small minority. The majority
But
of
when you
pedophiles do shit to kids.
but when you start advocating for it to be legalized, I have an issue.
Yes, absolutely. Any pedo supporters or people who, because of that small minority, want to say we have to protect all of them, you're just as sick.
Let's see. Let's go into less sad news. Did you hear about Lena Dunham?
What did she do? No, I'm always behind in the news. I
Uh,
got
one
kids.
one of the writers for her show has been accused of sexual assault, and she's defending him. And
Uh,
this is one of the listen and believe people.
yeah. I hate when it's only listen and believe until I think that the dude's telling the truth.
She's also the one that wrote a book saying, talking about how she was a sexual predator to her underage sister.
Oh yeah, of course the pedo is defending a pedo.
Then tried to deny it.
Sick fucking people, man. Or I'm sorry. Of course, the pedo is defending an assaulter. The other person's not. I should from all pedos, I guess. As far as I know, he's not. But
I don't.
still,
I
ugh.
don't think he's a pedo because the person he was accused of assaulting um, was a full-grown person, from my understanding.
Okay, that's why I corrected myself because we've been talking about pedos before, and if she assaulted her younger sister, that makes her a pedo. So, yes, I shouldn't lump him in with all the pedos we were talking about. He is just a sexual assaulter, which is half a step above an accused sexual assaulter, not convicted.
Yes, let's remember the accused part, so neither of us get into any form of trouble, because then we'll
Yeah,
be surrounded by sexual assaulters.
yeah, there are plenty of times when the stories are fake. Some of this stuff is coming out, I guess. I don't know, some of the people making all of these massive amounts of claims that are coming out, not exactly holding water from what I've heard. So
Uh,
shouldn't always jump to listen and believe.
yeah, I usually wait for the evidence, and when I don't, it usually comes back to bite me. So,
I will wait for the evidence in any case except where it's kids or somebody who said something like the Roy Moore doing something to a 14-year-old, totally buy that he did it and it pisses me off. But I will always admit my bias. I'm far more likely to believe that somebody is a pedo because they pissed me off. I was a survivor of pedos. I don't want to say victim, a survivor of pedos. So far more likely to believe I am biased on that.
you know, all this talk of rape and pedophilia is getting really depressing, and I
Yes,
was
there must
trying to
be
get to a
something else in the news.
uh, you're a gamer, right?
I would not classify. My hubby is a gamer. My kids are gamers. I play The Sims.
Uh, well, since they're gamers, I'm sure you heard about what EA and Dice is doing with Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I heard there was some big controversy around it. I don't think hubby was going to play it anyway. Sith is probably pissed.
What they were doing was they're called loot crates.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Basically,
yeah. Pay to play,
you can
right?
no pay to win or pay for advantage. Basically, you spend real money or you grind for long periods of time in order to get these boxes that open up and they give you little rewards. And these rewards can upgrade your character or things like that. And EA was trying to sell them for real money, and that had a lot of people upset.
Well, yeah, I'm glad people are pissed because I'm fine with them doing that kind of stuff with like phone games and stuff because that's different. When you actually like buy the game, it shouldn't be the same as a little free phone game because you have to
And you
buy that
shouldn't get.
Star Wars game, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
$60, or if you buy one of the upgraded versions, it's like 80 to 100 and some odd dollars.
Holy shit. And it's money that like people can't afford to be that is way more money than I would ever spend on myself. That's
And
more than I could afford to spend on my kids. I mean,
and a lot of people see it as gambling because you're putting money in hoping to get something good.
yeah, and you
And
don't know what they're gonna give you.
right. Let's see. So anyway, they turned off microtransactions for temporarily. They said so for a while you can't spend real money on it. You have to do the grind.
They shouldn't make the grind. I mean, make the grind as hard as you want. It's your freaking game. I shouldn't say they shouldn't, but yeah, don't. I don't know. I don't like the idea that they make the grind super hard, but then you can pay to get out of it. That's crappy.
It's cheating, and to me, it's gambling. There's a lot of people defending it, saying, "Oh, it's not really gambling because you're guaranteed to get something out of it." when you play a slot machine, you're guaranteed to get sound even if you lose. So,
Right, you get that dopamine hit of playing the game.
yep.
Did you hear about that? The Facebook thing?
What did Facebook do this time?
The one of the guys that was the original president of Facebook, I guess, who was doing it with Zuckerberg and stuff to begin with, he'd come out and said, "Oh yeah, we know we created a harmful, addictive product. We knew that when we made the thing. We don't know what we've done to the minds of children, but who cares? Because I'm a rich billionaire and I'll probably live forever now."
I did not hear about that one. I heard
Yeah,
about them saying if you don't want your what was it, revenge porn, then just release your nudes yourself on Facebook.
yeah, that one's horrible too. I heard that after, but I saw a thing where Tucker Carlson was talking about the president of Facebook guy, and he was pointing out that no other company, like tobacco company or no other company that created a harmful product, could come out so blatantly and say something like that and not be crucified in the media for it. But he gets away with it. Pointed out the inconsistencies of we charge tobacco companies and alcohol companies and stuff, casinos. They get charged an amount of money to, and they have to spend that to fund um, what is it, research into the harm that their product causes and like fund help for those people that are harmed by it. But Facebook and Silicon Valley, they don't have to. They just get away with it, and they do it
That
knowingly.
that sort of needs to change. I mean, don't censor
Absolutely.
them, but let people know what they're getting into.
No, yeah, if there's a rule that we have all as a society agreed to, then it should be applied fairly. We as a society have agreed you can make your harmful products. It's people's choice whether they indulge in it or not. But you're going to have to put aside money because you know your product is harmful. So they should have to as well. Apply it evenly. Like Mark Zuckerberg,
Um,
he's like the most richest, or the richest person in the world, isn't he? He's got
I'm
a
sure he's up there.
Yeah, he's got a fuck ton of money. Why shouldn't he have to put back money to help the people he knows he's hurting? They've admitted they do not know the damage that they are causing to the minds of children, yet we don't allow children to smoke cigarettes, but we let children get on Facebook. And we do no research into what it's doing. I don't like
Very,
inconsistencies.
very true.
But
I
yeah,
guess
also the send nudes. Like, how thick do you have to be like, I don't want to anybody to see this, so I'm gonna send it to these people to let them look at it so
oh
that
no, no,
nobody can see it.
it wasn't so no one could see it. They wanted you to post your nudes so no one could say, "Oh, uh, this is revenge porn." They wanted you to do it yourself.
Yeah, yeah, you post it to them, right? They have a team that looks at it, and then
No,
they
no,
like
publicly post it.
oh man, that's not what I heard. I thought they had it to where you were sending it to them and they had a team look at it and then they mark like the image or something so nobody else can ever upload it, is what I had heard.
Oh, I thought it was posted as sort of you post it first so they can so they'll be deterred from doing it. And we got a viewer that just came in, the Forbidden Thinker.
Oh
Welcome.
yeah, Forbidden's awesome. Hey, you can come hang out with us if you want. We're just chatting about the news. Oh well, I shouldn't be inviting people to your stream. Sorry.
No worries. The more the merrier.
I don't know how to send out the link. Send him a link. Let's see if Forbidden will come in.
Uh, are they on Twitter?
Yeah, he's on Twitter. Or Or wait, no, I do know how to send it because you sent it to me, so I can just copy it and send it to him. I'm sorry, I'm still a little out of it. I should sleep again eventually.
No problem. Whenever you're ready to go, just let me know, and we can do this another time if you want.
Forbidden. No, I'm gonna get Forbidden to come hang out with us. He
All right.
can he can be the not crazy person.
Oh, come on. Everybody's a little crazy. Oh, did you see my newest video today or last night?
I don't know if I did. I'll have to go look. Like I said, I've
Uh,
been out of it. I've watched a lot of stuff and I can't remember half of it. I need to go back and rewatch a lot of people's videos now.
I posted a Trump versus ISIS and Antifa match, and then I posted a it's sort of a teaser for an upcoming long-term project I got going.
I think I may have watched your one of I think I watched your teaser. I watched something from you recently.
It's about 18 seconds long.
I tried to go to YouTube and yeah, I think I watched a really short thing from you. I'm sorry, dude. I can't remember anything right now.
No problem at all. You're doing okay?
Yeah, just I'm gonna go get me some more water actually instead of soda. I don't know what the heck's wrong with me lately. Eat more and sleep more, I guess, is my lesson.
If you're more tired and you're more hungry, maybe pregnant again.
No, no, we got him fixed.
I know. I'm just teasing a little bit.
No, if I get pregnant again, I'll die. Literally. I almost died last time.
I heard it gets easier each time.
Not if you have hyperemesis, it actually gets worse each time.
Sorry about that.
But
Did
there's,
you send the link?
yeah, I sent it to him. Are you coming in, Forbidden?
While we're waiting, I'll let you know what the project is. Do you know what the SCP Foundation is?
No idea.
Basically, it's these people got together and they're actually really talented. They instead of writing short stories, what they do is they write sort of dossiers about these people, places, and things with special attributes. It's all fiction, so luckily none of this exists. But there's things like there's a plague doctor that goes around making zombies.
Oh, yes. Hubby reads those. I remember my favorite one he told me was a book that when you open it, it's whatever story you want and you can go into the story. Oh man, it sounded so cool.
Don't recall that particular one, but I'm doing a live action movie and then a live action series of that.
Oh, that'll be super freaking cool. I can't wait for that. I
I
definitely
already got it.
needed some water because I'm already feeling better after just drinking a little.
Glad to hear it. Maybe just dehydrated then.
Yeah, that's probably my problem. I drink Dr. Pepper like it's water, and I have since I was 2, so I should probably stop that and drink more water.
Probably a good idea. Of course, soda's what keeps me going when I work at night.
Right? I feel like that's probably how I keep my blood sugar handled a lot of the time because that's how my mom always did it, but with chocolate milk. Keep your blood sugar up with something sweet. Probably not a good thing.
I heard that orange juice is good for that.
Yeah, that's probably a better idea than soda.
Um, oh, I already got a few of the. I already got a good chunk of the acting.
Hey, Forbidden. That is a loud
Okay.
fan.
Can anyone hear me?
Hi there.
Oh shoot, I may have to reload because I can't hear anybody. But, oh well.
Oh no, we hear you, but we also hear
Sec.
like a fan. Oh,
He just muted himself
yeah, he
for a
might
second.
reload.
For a second there, I almost thought Omegon was here.
No, 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 they are related somehow. They're both from Cthulhu.
That part I can see. And is that a Batman symbol on his chest?
I'm not sure. It kind of looks like Batman. It kind of does. We'll have to ask Forbidden when he comes back and can hear us. But he draws a bunch of these. They're really cool. You should see his chick ones. He's got girl Cthulhukins.
That's almost scary, actually.
It's
I've
hilarious.
I've seen the tentacle animes. I know what goes down, and if there's a female one, I would be afraid.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going, basically.
Oh, did you ever watch the video 50 Things Dr. Bright is Not Allowed to Do at the Foundation?
No, I hadn't seen it. You'll have to send me that. I hadn't seen that one.
I'll send it, but one of them is they have SCPs where it can morph reality, and I guess Dr. Bright wanted to make real life tentacle monsters.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you and your fan.
Good.
You know, it sounds almost like Independence Day in the background.
Yeah.
Oh shit, is it super loud? So I can always try and switch computers.
It's not super loud, but it makes you extra creepy.
Oops.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Alright,
Well,
yeah.
we were wondering, is that like a Batman symbol on your character's chest?
No, actually, it's a flesh wound scar.
Oh, okay, it's a scar. It does look kind of Batman-esque ever since he said it. I saw it.
Eh, it's alright.
Oh,
So what's
have you
going
guys
on?
just talking about games, news, and a movie that's coming out?
Alright.
Have you seen those whatever they're called, the SCE files or whatever on my husband reads
SCP.
SCP
Yeah,
files. That's the movie he's talking about.
yeah,
They're making movies of them.
yeah. I've seen and read the articles from that site. I'm more of a fan of the Keter class sort of stuff.
Did you read the one where it's like a book and when you open it it's whatever story you want to be in there and you can go inside the story?
Oh yeah, I've read that. I don't remember if that was SCP 482. I could be wrong because I have bad memories of numbers, but I definitely remember that book.
Hubby told me that one and I thought it was the coolest freaking thing ever. I want the book.
One character I still need to find the actor for. Well, two characters actually. The Plague Doctor, I want to get him for one episode, and the other one is I believe it's 353. 353 is basically God, but it's from my understanding, he's got a Cheech and Chong type attitude, very laid back, and dresses in a Hawaiian shirt.
That sounds funny. So you need a Cheech. Ooh, who could
Pretty
be
much
Cheech?
Cheech or Chong type, yeah.
Nah, the Hawaiian shirt, you need Cheech. Chong, I think of him more honestly like that 70s show. His character on there.
Yeah, that. Let's see. One person, well, two people I'd really like to get to play as the Plague Doctor, even if it's just the voiceover. Undoomed or Sargon.
I mean, it should be Undoomed. Undoomed has the best voice. I can't pass up an opportunity to sexually harass Undoomed, even if, it's not his stream.
I was thinking Undoom simply because he's got an awesome voice, or Sargon because of the British accent.
I was given permission from Undoomed to sexually harass him, so I will use that permission until he takes it away.
Did Miss Undoomed have anything to say?
I do not know, but hubby's okay with it.
She seems cool. She's
Well, he got more than one person, so it would work if you have more than one person. So why not?
Yeah, we could play swaps. Sure. Fine.
she seems really cool. She liked the character I made of her, from what she said. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
trying to get a good entrance for them together.
That's cool. I've never spoken with Miss Undoomed, and Undoomed didn't stream with me again after I sexually harassed him so much, but he will chat with me on Twitter now and then.
Cool.
But there's probably a reason that I've never spoken with Miss Undoomed.
Let's see. So, anything either of you guys would like to talk about, or any questions you guys had?
Give me a sec. I might be able to switch computers so I can hear if the fan noise. So give me a minute.
All right.
Actually, I stopped hearing the fan.
I mean, I kind of hear it when you talk, but like you said, it just makes your character more creepy, gives it ambiance.
Sort of like when like I said, the UFOs are flying over the city on Independence Day, and they
You
got
say
that,
Independence Day, and I'm just picturing Will Smith and his best friend dealing with the stripper.
the stripper.
Will Smith,
Oh,
he's dating the stripper, and his friend's like, but I thought you were gonna dump her, and I was gonna fuck her.
I'm
Like,
not
yeah,
a
well,
big Will Smith fan.
oh no, I love all his old stuff. I used to love The Fresh Prince, man, and I love Wild Wild West. Come on, that was a good movie.
Back then, he wasn't so bad. It's once he started doing that 1+1 is 2 because he wanted to be type of thing, he just went.
The Pursuit of
Stupid.
Happiness is really good too. But that
I
After
didn't get into
Earth
that.
or whatever that one was not so good. And I hadn't really seen anything else since. So
Welcome back.
Can
there we go.
nice.
Yeah.
Got rid of that stupid fan that drives me mad.
Yes, it's gone now.
Takes away from the coolness just slightly.
It's a nightmare. That fan has caused me so many issues with making videos.
What kind of
I
videos
just-
do you make?
I'm very different from the casual YouTuber. I go after various topics that most people simply refuse to talk about these days, and one of them being is the MGTOW topic. But lately, I've been experimenting with the Adobe After Effects program, which allows me to do amazing works in terms of video loops.
Cool.
Cool.
But yeah, the Migleys, man, they're not fans of mine and Forbiddens.
Oh, they're not. They are not.
You know,
I might be able to show you one of the video loops, but I don't know if the Hangout would handle the graphics.
I'm not exactly sure how to do the show video thing on here.
Oh, it's easy. I can do it. All I have to do is click on the green box. Then from there, I go to applications window. Then I sort of do something like this, but oh shoot, it's not even playing because the graphics are way too advanced. Never mind.
Hangouts, you screwed us.
It's Microsoft. What do you expect?
It's Google. What'd you expect? Oh wait,
True.
aren't they the same thing by now?
No,
Not yet.
one has not yet brought the other one out.
I can just see somebody behind a desk doing the Mr. Burns fingers, but instead of excellent, they're saying eventually.
Let's see. Oh, are there any matches you guys like to see happen?
Jeff Holiday versus Amos Yee.
Definitely, that's a good one there.
Versus who?
The new pedo dude, he sounds almost exactly fucking like Omnipolitics with the way he talks, like the shit that he says. But yeah, the new pedo dude that says he's not a pedo, but he's a pedo defender, so basically the same thing.
Oh, the guy from Singapore.
Yeah.
He's worse in my eyes. Like at one point, he advocated for having sex with babies, and I'm there thinking like this guy's worse than the others.
Omni said the same shit about babies that like they make very similar talking points. I couldn't understand why people weren't treating him more like they did Omni. And then I realized the only difference is Omni came out and said, I am a pedo, and Amos kept saying, I'm not. I'm just defending them. Kind of the same thing.
Omni went to jail. From my understanding and from what he said in the video, he's not supposed to be on the internet because he went to jail for child porn.
Good.
But he somehow got out while they're still investigating him, and he started up another channel.
But didn't he disappear again? I bet he went back to jail. I hope. Ugh. I hope he disappeared again.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen him disappear. Well, you wouldn't see a disappearance, but I haven't seen his channel lately.
Yeah, I thought I'd heard that like right after he popped up, he disappeared again. So I figure they bopped him again.
Yeah, I sort of figured the same thing. So I guess time will tell.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll pop back up eventually. They usually do. Cockroaches are hard to get rid of.
They are. They're like I don't know. It's kind of like whack-a-mole to me. No matter how many times you smack them, they always come back up.
That's why you bring back crucifixion, because if they're too afraid to pop up, they're not going to commit the crime.
Also, I'm presenting just a picture of the loops I'm working with.
Oh, that looks cool.
Looks sort of like a firework as it's going off.
Yeah.
Basically, they're metal blocks and glowing red blocks just flowing at each other, and the animation is just them flowing around.
Cool.
Yeah, Forbidden's the one that did my animated background. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get together an intro, but I can't seem to do it quite right.
Ichabod did my intro. It's all that tip privilege, man. Men keep helping me.
Well, you're the lucky gal. Let's see. Let's see if the Hangout will let me even show my intro. Will it? Can you see this?
I see a black screen.
Oh, just a black screen, nothing else?
A border around it. Maybe try like opening YouTube and then having YouTube up on the Hangout.
Oh yeah, yeah. Good call. Good call. That'll probably fix it.
I stole one of my kids' fruit roll-ups.
Nice. I used to work at Macy's, and one of my bosses brought in it's Mexican candy. It's like a sucker on a plastic spoon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He said, "Here, try this." So I gave it a try. For like a minute, it tasted just like a fruit roll up, and then the burning set in.
Mm-hmm.
For the rest
Yeah,
of the day, I was
Mexican
trying to hunt
candy.
down water.
You got to be careful.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that stuff. It can make you really violently sick if you're not careful.
Oh, I wasn't sick. I was just my mouth was on fire.
Yeah. We used to live next door to this family of oh, I mean, they were from Mexico. They were Mexicans, and I don't know. This day and age, it feels rude to call somebody what they are. How fucked up is that? But yes, I live next door to some Mexicans who they would bring us candy from Mexico like all the time. They were really nice people, but they were really nice because we had to put up with them skinning live goats. So but yeah, the candy was always uh, these pineapple lollipops, but you had to get past all of the chili on the outside to get to the pineapple part. And them little gums, those are cool.
All right, can you see this?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if audio works, but let's give it a shot. But that's basically the intro.
Cool.
And that's a bit of the internet loop or video loop I've just been messing around with.
That looks really cool with your character. I like that.
Oh, thanks. It's again, it's one of the many things I try to experiment with After Effects.
I've been building a lot of houses in The Sims 4 lately. I'm so boring.
Try burning them down.
No, I don't know, I build them and I upload them to like that gallery so that other people can download them and people like them. Like I get 30, 40, 50 people. And that's not a huge amount considering how many are playing The Sims 4, but it's kind of cool to have, 50 people want to download a house you built and decorated.
Hmm.
Have you tried Second Life?
I tried it a long time ago because a friend of mine played it, but I never could get into it. I don't like the way it's set up. The gameplay is not for me.
I sort of tried getting into it, but that was around the time I got hooked into Diablo 2 and World of Warcraft.
WoW was evil.
They make it too difficult to figure out. I don't like when something's difficult at the beginning to figure out. I want to be able to get the basics down quickly and then make it difficult to do other things, you know?
One MMO I kind of miss is Star Wars Galaxies.
I never played that. I did play Spore. That was fun.
Haven't tried Spore. Was that an MMO?
It's sort of like that. It's more or less a third-person evolution game where you start from a cell, then you evolve into a civilization. And I've sort of played into it,
But you can
but
play online with other people. I've done that before.
yeah,
Yeah. So
I
that I don't know. I'm not a gamer. I don't know all the terms, but I figured if it was a game, it's kind of the same.
MMO is where you're playing with thousands of people at the same time, while multiplayer is just like 4 or 5 players, sometimes up to what, 36?
Oh, well, then I guess it would just be multiplayer because I don't know if you can play with the, I don't know. I don't know how this shit works. I know I played online with a bunch of my friends, but we were all sitting in the same room.
LAN parties are fun.
Yes, that's what a LAN party. I've been to LAN parties before. I'm
When I
such
was
a internet noob.
when I was in college for the well, one of the colleges, the final was to host a LAN party in the classroom.
Oh, that does sound. I had a friend who was manager of the movie theater here, and a bunch of friends who worked at the movie theater here, and they would like at night after the movie theater closed, they'd have like all-nighters where they were playing video games on the movie screens.
That does sound like fun.
It was pretty cool. And we'd play like hide and seek in the theater and shit. Shit you shouldn't have been doing. But if your friend's the manager, you know.
One thing I'd like to do if I ever had the money was buy a movie theater, then in one of the auditoriums just take out all the chairs, set up a couch or a bed, and just turn that room into a bedroom.
Nice. Just watch movies all night long.
Or video games.
Yes, yeah, you would do that. But I could imagine watching like movie theaters. Like every movie you ever watched would be theater style. That would be the coolest fucking thing ever.
Game of Thrones on a movie screen.
I've never
I
actually
can't.
seen Game of Thrones. I kind of want to.
I can't follow that movie. Or not movie TV show. After the first and second season, I just can't understand it.
I tell you, the only reason I want to watch this show, I want to figure out what the hell is going on, is because of the dude who drinks and he knows things.
He
Hmm.
seems to be losing it recently, though.
Aw,
Yeah.
don't tell me that.
Well, just the past few episodes when he watches his family's army get wiped out and cooked.
Oh shit. Spoilers.
It was before the season finale, so it's been a couple weeks at least.
I hadn't seen any of it.
There's always been one thing about him that I've always been curious. Like, shouldn't that guy be dead or long dead? Because the amount of alcohol he drinks, it's absurd. Like, no man would be able to drink that much.
I don't know. Uh, I know some pretty hardcore alcoholics, man, and they just keep going. It's
He's still alive
willpower.
out of spite.
Yeah, you gotta have the willpower to just keep going. Like, when I die, I've told hubby to donate my body to science because when they cut me open, they're gonna wonder how the fuck I lived as long as I did. You just fucking keep going because you have to.
Spite is a good motivator.
Yeah, you gotta live because they tell you you can't. You gotta drink that much because they tell you you can't. Fuck them.
To be honest, when my mother was still pregnant with me, the doctor said that she should abort because I was going to be mentally handicapped and dead before I was 2.
See, that's
And
why I never could. Like, they told me if I get pregnant again, I'll die. So hubby got a vasectomy because he knew that I wouldn't, even if I got pregnant again, they could not talk me into getting an abortion. I would just have to live through it so my baby would live. Have to. So, so he made sure that that wasn't going to happen to me, but I could never. You couldn't tell me this will absolutely happen because look at you. There's a chance that that's not going to happen, that the doctors can be wrong.
well, I'm proof that they were wrong.
Exactly. That's why I could never do. I couldn't take that risk that you make that choice and then they were wrong. Especially, oh, people who get abortions because they find out their child has Downs, there's a special circle in hell for them, I think.
Hmm. I know what you mean. I actually had the opportunity to yell at the doctor that told my mother before I was born that they should abort me. That was kind of fun conversation.
Oh well, it wasn't a doctor. My grandmother just told us when I was like 8 that my mom should have had an abortion with all four of us, and that she'd told her to.
Hmm.
I know this is probably going to demonetize this if I keep it up, but to all the doctors who say abort your kids, go fuck yourselves.
Uh, why do we keep going to sad stories, man?
Because that's how the world is.
That's true. The world sucks and nothing's happy. Rick and Morty needs to come back, man. Come on, Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty forever and 1,000 years, Rick and Morty.
There is one thing that's really sad, but it always makes you smile. Disney.
Oh, they're an evil company.
But they make you smile,
Hunchback.
don't they?
That movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, man. That is their most fucked up movie.
Are you sure about that?
Dude, in the opening of the movie, they murder a woman and almost murder an infant, then lock him up for the entirety of his life, and in the end, he don't even get the girl.
In part two, he does.
It doesn't,
Not,
I'm
not
talking
that
about the
girl.
first one. That's what counts.
If you're going by the first one, they didn't go by the story because I believe she dies, and isn't he killed as well?
I have no idea what the actual story is. I'm like typical Americans. I know the Disney story.
Basically, Disney makes those horrific endings happy endings.
Yeah, but this one, I was so pissed. As a little kid, I was pissed off because Hunchback saves them both, almost like dies himself. His entire life has crumbled around him, and she fucks the golden boy who couldn't save nobody and did nothing the entire movie.
I can one up that as a sad story though. Beauty and the Beast.
The Beauty and the Beast is kind of fucked up because, in all honesty, Gaston not as bad as they try. Like, he's not really the villain. They just make him out to be.
You know how it's a unhappy ending though, aside from Gaston?
How?
The time, the era that they're living in is just like a couple years before the French Revolution.
Oh yeah, that's
So what do you think? What do you think happens to a prince and a princess?
yeah, that's right. I've heard that. See, that's fucked up. But Gaston, they killed him, and I mean, what would you do if some dude, some crazy inventor dude, his daughter is suddenly missing, and he's ranting that a beast has her locked in a tower? You assume he's crazy and you lock him up. And then you find out the beast thing is real. You go and you try and kill it and save the girl locked in the tower, right? No, they murder him.
Well, he did try to kill the beast after he found out that the beast wasn't bad though.
She could be crazy. She's got a crazy father. She's ranting that she's in love with the beast that had her locked in a tower. He still thinks he's saving her.
I think the witch is the biggest villain of them all though.
Oh, yeah. The beast was like 10.
9.
Nine. He's 9 years old and he doesn't let some creepy old lady with a flower into his house. And was Chip a child when they turned him into that cup, or was he somehow born afterwards?
Pretty sure he was born afterwards, which opens up a lot more questions.
Yeah, I like a lot of questions. Like, how the hell? Oh yeah, Disney's crazy. Wasn't
But
he like a Nazi too, or didn't people think he was a Nazi?
uh, no, he had some dealings going on, and then World War II broke out. He found out what type of horrors they were causing, and he backed out of those deals.
Oh, okay. So that's just where the rumors came from.
Yeah. Let's see. He drove a lot of people out of business back then.
Oh yeah, and he shifted the copyright laws, which is fucked up art, like
Yeah,
entirely.
it did, and not to mention there was supposed to be a timeline where all of the, or not all, but a lot of art would have been publicly available to the rest of us, but apparently he, or I wouldn't say he, but they sort of extended that line to absurd levels.
Yeah,
They
to
keep pushing it back to. It's called the Mickey Mouse Law or something like that, where they keep voting to push it back, and they're rich enough to pay for everything.
yeah, so that and that's how they got their art because Mickey itself was taken from public domain from Steamboat something,
No,
and
no,
they took that.
Disney was Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
Steamboat Willie was made by Walt Disney, so it wasn't public domain.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a story I'd heard that they took the mouse from something else, and that's how they made Mickey. Dang, because that made it so much better. Their hypocrisy.
No, it was created by the same man that created the company.
Well, that sucks balls. I liked their hypocrisy better.
You
But
know,
still, they're still hypocrites because they're still taking from the public domain all of their freaking stories.
you want to hear something funny about Disney? Epcot is considered its own city in Florida, so they have a seat on the state senate.
Of course.
Could you just imagine a bunch of old guys in suits voting on laws, and then you got Goofy sitting there.
I was picturing Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, it could be Scrooge. Just see someone making a law he doesn't like, so whacks him upside the head with his cane.
Yes. Jumps into that vault full of money.
Come on, if you had billions of dollars, you'd go swimming in it too, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah, I would.
I would be reckless with it. I would spend it all on giant golden toilets and just litter the world with that stuff.
If I had a shit ton of money, my family would be all set up and then they wouldn't have to bug me anymore.
There yet. Why did I think about this earlier? If I had billions of dollars, couldn't I commission a giant mill finger coming out of a golden toilet and place it on top of the Vatican Church? I want to do that.
I don't think they'll let you put it on top of the Vatican no matter how much money you have. They have
Oh,
more.
with the right amount of price, you can make them do anything.
That actually reminds me. Uh, Around one of the places I used to live, there's a giant hill with I think it's an H on it. Right by there, there's a bunch of huge, like, not mansions, but houses where you have to be rich to live in them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got places
And
like that
one,
around here.
and one of the guys that lived there found out that his wife was cheating on him with a pilot, and she was a stewardess. So one day he's acting all lovey-dovey while she's getting ready to leave. They kiss. She leaves, goes to work, and while she's doing that, he quickly gets up onto his roof and paints a message for her, since she's going to be flying over the house. So she's on the plane with the pilot she's having an affair with. They're flying they're flying out of town, and she looks out the window at where her house would be, and on the roof, the guy had painted a giant middle finger.
Nice. You probably called him like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "Oh, come on, you know."
Good comeback.
I was asking my husband the other day because he was a man, so I thought maybe he would know. Like, I was watching Cheaters, and every single time when the chick comes in and he's in like a restaurant or something with the other chick, and she walks up and smacks him, he immediately says, "What is your problem?" Like, come on. I think you kind of know what the problem is. You're like, nobody should hit anybody ever. It's just that response bothers me because it's like, you know the answer. You know why she smacked you. You're sitting here with another chick that you're fucking. That's why you got smacked. Am I the only one that can't understand that? I don't know. I'm weird.
I guess it depends on context, depending on which show you're talking about.
Cheaters, that's what I said. Like,
Oh, see, I see.
Oh, I thought you said
Cheaters.
Cheers.
no, cheaters. Every time they come walking in and their man is sitting across from some chick that they fucked and they know that they fucked and they're walking up with a bunch of cameras and the chick's pissed and smacks him, he says, "What is wrong with you?" He knows what's wrong.
I see where you're going. Yeah, he probably knows what's going on there.
Like, what the fuck do you think all these cameras are for while you're sitting here next to her? You know what's wrong. You fucked her.
It's
I feel the same way, just to be fair. I feel the same way when it's a dude that comes in all pissed off and pushes the chick or, you know, something, because you don't usually see them smack the chick. Doesn't happen. But when they come in and they push the chick and they're all pissed, and she says the same thing, "What's wrong with you? You don't push a woman." You know what's wrong with him, bitch.
it's basically they're so in shock they have no idea what to do aside from trying to act innocent.
Yeah, act stupid.
There you go. Let's see. Oh, do you guys watch or read the conspiracy theories about TVs and cartoons and all that, or movies and cartoons and all that?
Oh, yes, I love fan theories. I
Yeah,
have fan theories of my own.
About all the kids on Rugrats being dead except Angelica.
they're all
Yes.
zombies.
Oh, man, that one is so sad.
Oh no, not so much zombies,
No,
just
no, they're in her
figments
head.
of her imagination. Yeah.
She's the only kid that lived.
Let's see, what's another one? Oh,
Oh, wait, no, wasn't
Gilligan's
Chucky
Island.
alive too?
No, Chucky died with his mom.
Oh, okay. Well, there's one version where Chucky dies with his mom. I think there was one version where it's just her and Chuck, or just her and Susie. I don't know. I thought
You
there
know-
was one version where it's just one of the other ones too.
Susie was that was her doll, right?
No. Cynthia is the doll. Susie is the little black girl.
Yeah, she moved into the neighborhood and they became friends, and Susie knew that Angelica wasn't exactly stable, so she just sort of played along to make her
Yeah.
feel better.
Yeah, there you go.
And Cynthia was sort of a representation of her real mom, who was a drug addict.
Yeah, the fan theories are fucking crazy, man.
They are.
Did you hear Did you hear the ones about Gilligan's Island?
Oh no, I hadn't heard those. Ooh, tell me.
There's a few. Let's see. There's one where each person on Gilligan's Island represents a different sin. You know, the seven deadly sins.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Like the professor was What's it called when when your ego is really massive?
Shit, I forget which sin that is. Hold on. I don't know. One of those times when you're on the spot and you can't think of the answers. Let me look it up.
Uh, let's see. The skipper was sloth and rage. Mr. Howell was greed. The actress was lust.
Oh yeah, vanity. That would be professor would be vanity, right?
Vanity, I don't think is a deadly sin.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 7 deadly sins right now. Gluttony, lust, greed, pride, sorrow,
Pride was the
wrath.
word I was looking for the professor.
uh,
Because you're going to be
sorrow,
prideful if you can turn a coconut into a radio.
right? But sorrow, wrath, vainglory, and sloth. So vanity, vainglory.
Um,
The fuck is vainglory? It's not vanity.
let's see. Another one was they're all dead, and Gilligan is. They're all dead. They're in purgatory, which is the island, and Gilligan
I didn't
isn't.
notice.
He's not one of the spirits. He's a angel that's sort of keeping them there because they're not good enough to get into heaven, and they're not bad enough to go to hell.
So he's the Grim Reaper?
Sort of. He's not the Grim Reaper. He's not taking them to either place. He's keeping them in purgatory till they do something that is either good enough to get them into heaven or bad enough to send them to hell. And because whenever they're about to get off the island, he's always the one that messes up, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Oh, so he's the boatman. I forget what the boatman's name is. The boatman that ferries them across the river Styx.
Sort of, yeah.
They have to pay their toll.
He's the judge. Let's see. What's another one?
I have a
Oh,
oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I have a cool Rick and Morty fan theory. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Sure.
All right, it's the origins of Mr. Meeseeks. If you really think about it, we have evidence of another fan theory that Rick is seeking out his god, his creator, the Mark Harmon, whatever his name is, right? Matt Harmon, something, the dude that created the show. He's seeking him out. You could see it on his conspiracy board in his room. There's different episodes and there's a picture of the creator, and it makes sense that someone as smart as Rick, when trying to understand his universe, would have to seek out God, like the I don't know if you want the Christian version of God. That in his multi universes there must be one somewhere where God exists within there, but it wouldn't be the actual God because the actual God of his universe is his creator, the Matt Harmon guy. So it would have to be something that he could ultimately contain somehow. It wouldn't be as all powerful as an actual God should be. So I think he went to a universe where there is God, and he somehow managed to stick it in a box. And if you push a button on that box, like an endless consciousness, or however you want to say it, if you push a button on that box, it separates a piece of that endless consciousness out, forces it into corporeal form and into existence within his universe. If he did that, then that thing would want to do whatever he asked to be able to end its existence and return to the endless consciousness within the box. And that would be Mr. Meeseeks. It's God in a box.
But if it's God in the box and he's using it to do whatever he wants, why not summon a Meeseeks and say, "Find God for me"?
Well, I'm sure he has in one of the infinite universes. You see him use the Meeseeks in all kinds of different ways. But I think once they're forced into corporeal form, they don't have the endless power, like he says in the episode where they're not gods, because they aren't anymore. They've been separated from the entirety of their conscious. They're just a piece of the consciousness of the God in the box, and they're in a real life form, so they can only do certain things. But they're obviously immortal because they can't kill themselves. You have to kill them, or they have to complete their task in order to die and return to the consciousness within the box.
True. Did you hear about the what people think is the origin of Rick?
Which one? There's a bunch. Everybody's all curious because the creator said somebody on Reddit got it right.
That
So
Morty grows up to be Rick?
that's a favored one. I don't think it's the right one. But I also don't think, because everybody really thought the one that was the person who got it right was the one that said that Rick's wife died and that's how he became who he is. I don't think that one's right either, or they wouldn't have done it in the season 3 opener. They wouldn't have teased us with it if it was the right one. So maybe that kind of lends more credence to the Morty is Rick theory, because it's the other most stable one, like the other one that everybody thinks is right.
What it might be, Rick's wife was actually another Rick from another dimension, because doesn't he seem sort of, egotistical?
Well, I like the theory that Rick isn't related to that family at all. Like he doesn't have a wife. Like that he inserted himself into their memories because he wanted he wanted to get to either himself, like it works into the Morty is Rick theory. He's not really their grandpa, he really is Morty, so he just inserts himself into their memories as the grandpa. Or there's also the theory that he just wanted a family. He wanted to get to Morty, to the brain waves or whatever, to protect himself. So he just inserts himself in as the grandpa.
Could be it. Have to wait for the next few seasons, I think.
I I don't know that we'll find out really, because they said they like that, or that we won't find out for a long time at least, because they said they like that their character, his origins aren't really explained. They think it takes away all the power of the show and all the mystery of everything if you just tell people, hey, this is the backstory.
Right. I mean, like when the show's coming to a close, they might explain something.
9 more seasons, so we have to wait till season 9 probably.
Maybe 9 more seasons. Was going berserk about the Szechuan sauce.
Yes, 9 more seasons till he gets that sauce. That's his series arc.
Oh, did you hear how many Szechuan sauces McDonald's actually released when they were doing that promo?
So few that some restaurants got like 3.
One around here only got one.
Oh goodness.
They open a big box and there's one.
That's fucked up.
Someone actually sold their car to get one. That's
That you like Rick and Morty a little too much at that point, you know?
yeah.
Like just wait. You know they're gonna release it. The Mulan movie's coming out. And they've got the Rick and Morty hype, and they'll do something.
Speaking of Milan, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier. They changed that story a lot for Disney.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
In the original, when she saves China and she's talking to the Emperor's about, from my understanding, the Emperor's about to make her one of his concubines. She says, forget that, pulls out the sword, and kills herself.
Nice. I like that ending better. I didn't do all of this to be your wife.
Let's see. Oh, Snow White at the end of the real story,
The metal shoes, I know that.
yeah. Let's see. Sleeping Beauty she was saved by rape babies.
Yes. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
The Little Mermaid, she turns into sea foam at the end because he falls in love and marries someone else.
Yeah. Well, also because she couldn't bring herself to kill him for that.
Yes.
See,
And
Disney
Pinocchio
isn't.
was evil, right?
He wasn't evil. He was just not good. See, just because uh, Disney might have been a bad guy, but even he knew we need to change a few of these things so they're not nightmare fuel for kids.
But he still made nightmare fuel for kids.
But they're
We're gonna
not.
fuck up their entire world slightly less than the people who came before us.
Yep.
But maybe that's the issue. Maybe all of this is happening because they're fucking up kids less with the stories. Maybe the stories were important, damn it.
They were. Uh, what was it? I forgot what story it was, but the moral of it was don't lie to your parents or a witch will come out and cut off your tongues or something like that.
Well, I mean, the La Llorona, which is a ghost story from, I guess it's originally from Mexico, or I learned it in New Mexico when I lived there as a kid. But that story is to keep kids out of the woods and stuff, and to keep them home at night.
Away from lakes.
Rivers and lakes and out of the woods. Like there's
Yeah.
all kinds of stories associated with the La Llorona, but one of them is that a group of boys, they were out playing, in the woods, and it got late, and or they were playing soccer, and one boy went a little further into the woods to get the ball, and the La Llorona grabbed him on the shoulder, and he was trying to drag him away to the river, and he managed to get away, but he had a scar of her hand on his shoulder.
hmm Give me 1 second. I need to take care of something, and I'll be right back.
Okay,
All right.
let's keep this stream alive.
Yeah, with something. Well, I'm debating whether or not should I make a video review of one of my favorite TV shows, Stargate Universe.
I liked Stargate SG-1. I could never get into any of the others.
Yeah, I got into Universe, not so much of Atlantis, but this Universe because it made more sense to me.
I'll have to check it out. Maybe it's good. I loved the movie when I was a kid before, the TV shows ever came out. The Stargate movie, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We
Uh,
were talking Stargate.
Oh, about Stargate. Is it just me, or is it anyone else find it kind of funny that the guy that played on Stargate Atlantis as the barbarianish guy,
oh yeah, that guy.
that's the part he plays in like nearly all the movies I've seen him in.
He's a what do they call it when you get stuck in the same character over and over? He's been
Character
pigeonholed.
actor.
Yeah, character actor. There you go.
Let's see, he was a barbarian in that. Game of Thrones, he was the leader of a barbarian tribe. Um, Aquaman, the way they have it looking is he's sort of on par with the Amazons and warlike tendencies from what I've seen from the commercials.
So barbarian-esque.
Yeah. Why not just put him in a suit just once? Have him be a greedy businessman.
Because then they might find out if he's actually a good actor, and they don't care. They like him as the character. They need him in that role, and he's good. He's good at filling it, so they're gonna keep sticking him there. I doubt he cares. He's getting paid for it, right? I
True.
wouldn't care.
And
I could do the same thing over and over. Shit.
I just think it would be interesting to see him in like a Shakespearean character.
That would probably be interesting, yeah. Some people that try to break out of their character role, though, they find they really can't, and they drag it with the chick from Gilmore Girls. I can't remember her name. The big lady that tries to be a comedian now. She tried to go out and do other things besides being Suki from Gilmore Girls, and she just couldn't. She's that character, only slightly nuttier in everything she does.
You know who actually did a good job at breaking roles? Patrick Stewart.
Yes. Yeah, he can be
First,
anything.
Definitely.
oh, speaking of Star Trek, all the captains from first to last, except maybe one of them, are all Shakespearean actors.
I think you should like I don't know, a lot of the people who are good, they had some time on Broadway or doing some kind of play acting or doing some Shakespeare. I think you should study the classics first before you go on to be a movie actor. It obviously seems to help.
The only one that, well, the only two I don't think are classically trained are the main lady from the new Star Trek, well, quote Star Trek, and the captain from Enterprise, the guy from Quantum Leap.
Oh, Quantum Leap was good.
I miss Quantum Leap. They're supposed to have a live action movie of that coming out too.
I doubt that's going to be as good.
Depends if they get the original people.
Maybe. Are they like that's an old show. They're all going to be
They're still
old.
alive.
They're all going to be old though.
He doesn't look much different than he did back then, though. The
Oh,
main,
really? You
the
watch
guy from
actors and they seem to transform in front of you, from the time you're a kid to the time you grow up. You're like, holy shit, what happened to them?
True,
Because you're
but
always picturing them as you did when you were a kid.
with him, the main thing I notice is he cut his hair.
That's the main difference, really.
You've seen Enterprise, right?
Uh, like the new movies that are out, or
No, Star Trek Enterprise, the one where it's like before Kirk.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
I mainly watched Picard. Which one is he?
That was Next Generation.
Okay, so I mainly watched Next Generation.
All right, let's see. In making the series, there was Kirk, Picard, Cisco, uh, Enterprise, and then this new one.
Anytime I hear Enterprise, I just think we'll pick you up. The car people, the car rental people, call Enterprise. We'll pick you up. Enterprise should pay me for an ad now. But no, I couldn't ever really watch any of the others. I don't know. I was kind of a Trekkie when I was a kid, but really just for Picard. And my favorite episode with him was the one where he gets turned into a kid. That was so fucking good. Like this awesome British dude, he's so I don't know how to hoity-toity, and now all of a sudden he's a child and he's throwing a fit.
Did you ever read any of the books?
When I was like a little kid, I did because my stepmother had them.
Did you read Q Squared?
I don't remember. I was really little.
Uh, this one was actually pretty good. Basically, Q brings in what everyone would consider a Q from the original series. There was an episode called oh, I forgot what the episode was called, but basically Kirk and them go down to a planet, and then there's this guy with magical powers that turns out to be a little kid alien that's godlike, and two specks of light come down and say, "We're sorry for what our son did. Go on back, live your lives, yada yada yada." In the book, it turns out he's Q. I believe his character's name is Trevelyan, and he has Picard to babysit for him. So you got this godlike kid, school on the Enterprise where they're reading Winnie the Pooh.
That doesn't sound like it will end well. Or just godlike powers in a small child. I'm imagining my children, and it's terrifying. This should be a horror movie.
It was actually pretty funny. Let's see. Security's called to the school, so Picard, Riker, Worf, and all them run to the school because there's a godlike being and alarms are going off. And when they get there, Winnie the Pooh's just sort of sitting in front of the teacher, looking around sadly. Eeyore's sitting there. Tigger is jumping on a security guard's head. Worf doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, see, godlike powers in my children, it would end much worse than just the Winnie the Pooh characters brought to life.
Spoilers. Basically, it ends where Trevelyan liquefies Q, is about to destroy the galaxy, and Picard and Q punish him.
How do you punish? How do you punish a godlike kid?
It's Picard. You find a way.
That's true. But no, what my kid would bring to life would be Nine Cat.
Would be
I
what?
guarantee. Nine Cat.
What's Nine Cat?
You don't know what Nine Cat is, and you're on the internet? Look up Nine Cat. But he's so obsessed with Nine. He draws it. He draws it on the painting app on my laptop. He draws it in school. He made me get him a gray kitten, and I thought he just wanted a gray kitten. But when I got him the kitten, he immediately asked me if I would then make a Nine Cat outfit for the kitten because he'd seen someone make it on YouTube, and
The
now that's why
toaster cat
he wanted a Nine Cat.
The toaster cat that farts rainbows?
Yeah, that's Nine Cat. It's like an internet sensation. I don't know how you didn't know it like right off the top of your head. But then again, my kid's obsessed with it, so of course I know it. I have to hear it all the time, like on a loop.
I'm not sure about that.
He's obsessed with Nine Cat, yeah. And Pokemon. Nine Cat and Pokemon. But he says when he grows up he wants to be a firefighter. He drew it at school the other day. They had to draw what they want to be when they grow up. And he wrote a firefighter. And he drew two little kittens. And he told me he absolutely saved them one at a time. But the rain came down on the fire. And he didn't have to put it out. It was so fucking cute.
I was listening to some 4chan stories and heard a funny one. Guy's bored one night, so him and a lady friend decide to go out drinking. He throws back one too many, so he decides to go back to her place, sober up before going home. And he takes like 2 or 3 steps into her apartment and then blacks out. Right? Next thing he knows, he's waking up in the middle of the park, and he wants to know what's going on. So he goes back to her place, and when he gets there, she's sitting on the couch crying, and there's broken glass all over the place. he starts freaking out. Oh my God, what did I do? I am so sorry. Please tell me what happened. So she looks up to him. Well, we got here, and then all of a sudden you just sort of stiffened up, and you screamed, "Go Pikachu!" And he threw my hamster out the window.
Oh my god. Wait, how is the glass broken then?
Because he threw it through the window.
You can't throw a hand. That thing would splat on the window. You can't throw a hamster through the. He had to break the window first. I hate that that's how I know this story makes no sense, but picture in your head a hamster going through a window. That doesn't work. It
Are
always
you?
goes splat instead.
I don't want to ask this, but are you speaking from experience?
No, no, I'm just saying when you picture it in your head and you try to picture a hamster being thrown through a window, it doesn't make sense within your own mind. Like in your head, you could only picture it splatter against the window because it's not going to break that glass. It's a hamster.
Either way, though, it's still somewhat of a funny story, don't you think?
It is. It is. I know. That's why I said I can't believe I'm nitpicking on this, but it just it makes you kind of stop for a minute because it doesn't make sense. Like I've
That's
seen a lot of birds flying at, very fast paces, smacking into windows. They never break them, or very rarely break them. So a hamster absolutely couldn't.
maybe the guy's just got a hell of an arm.
Oh, maybe it was in the ball. That makes more sense now. I suddenly get it. It's in the ball. I'm picturing him picking a hamster up out of the hamster cage. It's in a hamster ball, which makes it more fucked up.
It was in the ball. I'm sure once it fell out of the apartment, it was no longer in anything.
Yeah, I'm sure too. Once it went through that window. Oh, that's messed up.
You know, there's a funny song that would send someone to hell. Want to hear it?
Yeah.
Look up Special Olympics.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, you know that one?
Yeah. Hubby sometimes shows me things that'll send me to hell. I was
Such a
not
lovely
pleased
husband.
when he showed me Tub Girl.
I have not seen that one.
Don't look. You will regret it. Don't look up Goatsy either.
That one I was warned about. Also, Blue Waffle.
Yeah, yeah, don't look.
I was
Remember
shown that one
MGTOW?
at work.
There's a Miggly, I should say. He's not a MGTOW. He is a Miggly. There's a Miggly that thinks blue waffle is real, that it's a disease that women get.
What's a Miggly?
Extremist, like a feminazi, but for MGTOW.
Oh, you know, I remember a few. I think it was months ago. Angry MGTOW invited someone to a stream, and the first question he asked her was how many penises she's ridden.
That was SDA. He asked me that first too, to be fair. But the stream that's famous for is definitely SDA.
I, I I couldn't help myself. I wanted her to answer, or you or her or whoever he asked. I can't remember if it was you or her.
It was probably hers that you watched.
I wanted to see her reply, probably not as many as you.
Oh man, I wish I'd said that too. I took a different approach than she. That's why hers is famous for it. I just confounded him with straight up honest answers, and he didn't know what the fuck to do with me. I even got hubby onto one of our chats too, and he didn't know what the fuck to do then. happily married couple. What the hell? But no, she tore him up. That's what she did. And then Jeff came and tore him up. That's why, yeah, you saw hers, I'm fairly certain.
I enjoy watching Jeff tear people apart.
Me
Especially,
too.
I really, in fact, one of them actually gave me an idea for his first match. It was when Onision and Joy Sparkles were going at it,
Yes,
and
that was a good one.
they were supposed to have that debate, and Jeff just he went full steam ahead at him. That was just beautiful.
Yeah, that it was kind of the same thing happened there as what happened with SDA. Onision ignored the person he was originally supposed to be talking to talk to Jeff because Jeff had a bigger count and he was trying to actually have a conversation with him. And Jeff was like, "Oh no, fuck that. If you're talking to me, we're going for this." Same thing happened with Angry MGTOW and SDA. They were talking. Jeff ended up in there, and Angry tried to, okay, let's ignore this chick and I'm going to talk to you. You're a dude. And so Jeff tore him up. I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah, same here. When I first watched it, it was kind of hilarious.
I just
What?
heard noises in my house. I'm hoping one of my children didn't wake up.
What about your house?
I just heard noises inside. I'm hoping it's my cat fucking around and one of my kids didn't wake up. It's 4 a.m. They should still be sleeping.
One fight I would love to see is between Sargon and Jeff Holiday.
That would be interesting. It was the cat. Fucking cat.
I don't know. Like, I've always wanted to see the two go at each other over something because I like both content creators, but I could definitely would see a really really interesting and funny match between the two.
Verbal?
Yeah,
or
it'd be a
wrestling?
fun. Both.
Because I can do one of them.
Yeah, do a wrestling match with them. That would be fun to watch. But a verbal one would be awesome too.
Yeah.
Who were they again? Sargon and who?
And Jeff.
I'll see what I can do.
Ooh, cool.
And would either of you like to guest commentate on that?
I want to offer to, but then I know that I'm gonna make it take you forever to get it out, like I did last time. I still have a video I'm trying to read a shit ton of laws for. I did not know how much law reading was going to be involved when I decided to take on the Texas state education system.
Oh, good luck with that one.
Well, they've pissed me off, so now I have to. They've pissed me off twice now.
If I didn't want to be nice, I could make a joke something like Texas has an education system.
Oh yeah, that is a fair joke. Trust me. Fucking
I
my
thought they
husband.
just sat you in a room and gave you a gun.
Now my husband convinced me that the kids should go to public school because we both have social issues. Our kids are already having social issues. They need to go to public school to deal with those now so they don't turn into sociopaths someday. And I agreed with him, but then the school keeps doing stupid shit that pisses me off.
Have they sent them home saying, let's see, what was that one I read about? The school sent home kids telling them to write letters to their parents explaining why they changed to Muslim.
Oh God, no. I don't have to worry about that with the
With
school I've
Texas.
sent my kids to.
Or in Texas at all.
It's a very conservative school. My issues are more along the lines of they count attendance among elementary age children the same as middle and high school. So because my kid missed 5 days and I didn't always not 5 consecutive days, just 5 different days so far throughout the year. And I didn't send a note. I swear I sent a note some of the times. They say I sent a note none of the times. I think they just didn't get or didn't read the freaking note I did send. But because I didn't take my kid to the doctor every time he had allergies or a migraine, and I just kept him home instead. They're calling my kid truant and telling me I need to make a truancy plan for him. He's not truant. He's 6, not 16. Notes sent from home, the only reason for them is to make sure that the parent knows the kid was absent. My kid is 6. Of course I know if he's fucking absent. And they say shit like this affects your kid's education. No, it doesn't. My kid's the smartest kid his age in that school. I educate my kid, not the fucking state. I send him to them for social things. It they've pissed me off, that's all. They shouldn't count elementary age the same as high school. Like my kid, they're reviewing him on the alphabet and how to hold a pencil. If he's sick, I'm not sending him the fuck to school. I can do that at home.
I actually got kicked out of elementary school because I had chicken pox and my parents kept me home. But that's California.
I'm surprised I was never kicked out of middle school, especially because I was a violent person, a violent kid.
Dude, we had the cops called on us in elementary school for my whole family fighting other whole families. Yeah.
Oh, that's nothing what I did. I somehow I when this was in middle school, I acquired actual human poop, and there was a guy that used to pick on me, so I took that human poop and I actually slammed it on the inside of his locker.
Nice. Um, yeah, I had a teacher in middle school who pissed me off because I'd gone to Spencer's with money of my own that I had saved up, and I all I could afford to get was this little bottle of anti-bitch pills as a joke. I was showing one of my friends. The teacher saw, accused me of being a pill popper, and confiscated their candy. For fuck's sake, just because it said anti-bitch pills on it. It's like, yeah, you need to fucking take some of those, I guess. So I got sent to the office. So later, she had this pillow that always hung on her door, and I had gone to the bathroom and I'd seen somebody had left some really nasty shit in one of the toilets. When I saw that, I went and I took that pillow and I dipped it in it, and then I hung it back on her door. Don't piss me off. I'm passive aggressive.
Nice.
I remember one time I used to wear a really nice pair of blue jeans that had this sort of metal chain, and at the time I didn't care about the I didn't identify as a gangster or anything, but I had the chain for a good reason because it was attached to my wallet when I was a teenager.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I tried playing it smart. Then turns out I got the chain part confiscated because, well, I had an overreactionary uh, writer or writing teacher. The next thing I do is I'm like, okay, you can keep the chain, but can you pay me?
Yeah, it costs money, bitch.
And he, like, here's the thing: like, I actually managed to get her to pay me $40 after making just an elaborate, sad story, and I just found the whole thing funny.
That is hilarious. I would fucking do it too. That's awesome. Bitch, I paid for that shit. You're gonna pay me for it. Oh, I think I'm about to run away. It's 4 a.m. I need to get some sleep before the kiddos wake up. And probably make myself go eat something again too.
All right.
All
Have a
right,
good night and feel better, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it easy for a couple of days and hopefully I'll feel better.
Let's do this again one maybe a little earlier next time.
Yeah, yeah, maybe when I can think a little better too. Bye.
Don't throw any Pikachus around.
I promise.
Pizza go.
So, anything you want to talk about or any questions?
What time is it? It looks like it's 1:52 where I'm at. Well, I guess we could maybe talk about I don't know. I remember you were talking about SCPs earlier on, so would you want to talk about that more or just want to end it here?
Sure. What we were talking about was I'm doing a live action movie about the SCP Foundation. I already got a few of the actors set up. I got the characters for everybody in my mind, and I'm going to try to talk with the local university about having their film students be like the film crew for extra credit for their schools.
Hmm.
Just
I
so
see.
just so it's like, looks semi-professional.
All
But
right.
first episode's going to be a full-length movie, and then probably 15 minutes to a half an hour each episode.
Well, that's pretty nice. So will there be any sort of SCP showings in each episode, or is that going to be something else?
Let's see. The first episode, it's going to be about the what I have in mind for the first episode is the control collars.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
uh, one of the main characters is a uh, field agent, and he goes out investigating something, and some people who have the control collars attached to them start attacking. He rescues someone and brings that person back to one of the to the O5 person that he's connected to determine whether the person gets the uh, amnesia stuff.
If Class A as I know the name. They're asthmatics or something.
Yeah, used on them, or if they can become a field agent. And the O5 person is a little bit shocked by the person that was brought in, uh, and you after a few episodes you find out why.
Well, pretty good plot story and plot episode.
The way I'm doing it, you know how SCP-01 has like 3 or 4 different. Uh, they put 3 or 4 different ones together, saying one of these is real.
Yeah.
I'm sort of mixing all of them together, so they're all true to a point.
I see, and that's actually a pretty good idea for a story. That also leaves up some room for possibilities, which is a pretty good little aspect of it.
The first episode will also introduce some of the other agencies that are against and neutral to the Foundation.
So stuff like the Church of the Broken God to the Chaos Insurgents.
Yep.
No, that's cool.
Uh,
Regarding
Go ahead.
the regarding the Chaos Insurgency, I'd like to see, like myself personally, I would like to see a little bit more stuff into that because when you actually look up the Chaos Insurgency, there's barely much said about them.
They're going to be one of the big baddies.
Mm.
You know how on like Agents of Shield, how uh, What are there? How Hydra was one of the big baddies for like 3 or 4 seasons.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be sort of like that, but a bit more permanent.
That's a good idea.
Uh, I am going to have a small part in the show. I'm going to be playing the O5 person that they're connected to, but since I'm like leadership, I'm only going to be in like an episode, or I might show up for a few minutes in 1 or 2 episodes, then be gone for several episodes, just because I'm basically overpowered.
Mm. That's a good feature. Like there's a movie like I think it's the first Avengers movie, and I can't remember that famous guy that basically almost runs the whole show, but he sort of does the same thing,
Samuel L. Jackson.
and he just pops in and there in every DC movie, and he's only there really briefly, but you instantly know who that guy is.
Oh, Fury. Uh, I will. My part is not going to be that big, but it is going to be a major portion for a few episodes, simply for, like I said, why he's shocked when he sees this person coming in. And you remember how one of the Zero Ones, it starts talking about the battle at the Foundry against against
Again, the
fairies?
fact, yeah, the fairies, SCP. I don't remember which one that was, but yeah, I definitely remember the battle against the Furies.
There's going in one of the episodes there is going to be a flashback to that, where that battle, well, the lead up to the battle, and the aftermath of the battle takes up like 3 or 4 episodes.
Well, that's pretty cool.
I'm also still looking for someone to play Dr. Bright, because that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be fun. Uh, I don't remember which SCP was it, but it's one of Doctor Bright's uh, little things that nobody likes him for. Like I think it's a teddy bear SCP. I gotta look that up. It's been a long time since I've read in that one, but
Oh, the one that makes other teddy bears?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's Doctor Bright or something, but
That's not Dr. Bright, but that was a interesting one.
oh yeah.
Another one I need to get someone to play is 353. That one is basically God.
Mm. All right.
The way I picture him is he's got the long gray hair and the beard and all that. He's got a Cheech and Chong like attitude, and he wears Hawaiian shirts and cargo shorts.
I see. So he's a god, but he doesn't care that much.
Sort of, yeah. Um, him and my character get into a really loud argument a lot.
So you two arguing over whether or not our donuts good? I'm joking.
No, all right. I believe there was. Some of the SCPs that are going to be in the show might not be in there. They're ones that I remember reading about, but I can't seem to find them. Like there's one where it's a sword that sort of takes over your mind and makes you bloodthirsty, basically. I remember reading about it. I just can't find it. and it's going, but it will be in the show. Um, I want to get the Plague Doctor in there. You there?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. I think my dog got really loud.
No problem. Welcome back. Did you hear what I was saying?
Yeah, part about the swords that makes you bloodthirsty.
Yeah, it like takes over your mind, and you just you feel like you have to kill everything around you.
Um, I do remember that sword somewhere, and I know what you're talking about. And it might be SCP 7 something, but I don't quite recall.
And I will admit that for some of the things, I'm going to be taking creative. I'm not going to be exact to how they put it on there. I'm going to maybe tweak it just a little bit for some things.
All right, that makes sense.
Let's see what else is there. Oh, two of the people that I want to get, even just for voiceover for the characters. Uh, it's the Plague Doctor. I'd like to get either Undoomed or Sargon for the voiceover.
I think
But I
I think Undoomed would be better just for the voice.
I'm thinking Undoomed because he just sounds awesome, and Sargon because he sounds. I'm pretty sure it's just the British accent, but he sounds. He has that. He is a smart guy, but he makes you. The sound of his voice makes you think he's smart. Sort of know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Um, and I guess you're right. I mean, that's kind of a trade-off between Undoomed having that awesome voice of his compared to Sargon with that sort of voice or accents that makes him sound really smart.
If there was a way to combine the two, that would be perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
A British Undoomed.
That would actually be easy to make. You just need Undoomed's avatar, and you slap a British flag on one of his or part of on his suit, and
True. But I mean, voice wise, like Undoom's voice with a slight British accent.
yeah, that would be awesome.
It would make him sound like a villain. um, Trying to think of some more. I also want to get that living gun worked into the series.
Oh, I know that one really well.
The one where it shoots teeth.
Yeah, and it's a living thing, and you can't ever take the clip out because the whole thing is one living organism.
Let's see. Oh, I also want to get the wading pools uh, worked in somehow. Like maybe the one of the lower tier villains comes in, starts attacking the the foundation where they're kept, and one of the characters sort of tricks him, saying, "This one will take you to where all your dreams will come true," and so they hop into the wading pool and get teleported into the middle of space.
All right.
You know which SCP I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, I think I know which one that is. That sounds like a really good idea for a story, and you could definitely write something about or produce something regarding that SCP in particular.
One that I'm going for now, at least, that I'm going to stay away from is that giant statue that snaps your neck.
Oh, good. Nobody likes that thing.
It's not so much that I don't like it; it's just I'm not going to do what TV shows do, where the people get into trouble, then there's a commercial, and when it comes back from commercial, everyone's okay. I'm
Yeah,
going I'm going to have it play out to where it shows how they got away from the mess, and something like that. I'm not sure how to, you know, save them.
I see.
Because you look away and you're dead. So
Yeah, yeah. Like, there isn't much you could do with that entity anyway, so there wouldn't be much of a point to uh use that SCP in particular, unless if you wanted a weird scenario where you still don't have the Doctor Who weepy angels staring at the statue, but then again, I'm pretty sure the the show that you're probably running isn't a crossover.
actually, that would be kind of interesting, a crossover between SCP and Doctor Who.
Actually, yeah, it would be like how would the statue deal with the weeping angels because they're technically the same thing.
Well, no, because with the Weeping Angels, if you look away and they touch you, they simply send you back in time and get your life force, I guess. That one just flat out kills you.
Yeah, good point.
That I think it's called the Rake, the one where if you look at it, it kills you.
Hmm.
I want to maybe put it in an episode where it's fighting the statue. Now that
That
one sounds. Go ahead.
that would be pretty cool. Like then again, I'm actually really curious on which would win in that sort of scenario.
Um, Working Cain or Abel into an episode would be kind of interesting.
Mm, definitely. Give me one moment. I gotta let my dog back in because he needs to be let in apparently. So I'll
Sure.
be back in 1 sec. All right, I'm back. He just doesn't want to calm down.
Welcome back. You know, for Dr. Bright, he's supposed to be a gorilla, so maybe get just a person in a regular gorilla suit and Baron for the voiceover
Yeah,
or King.
definitely. That makes sense.
I'm just going for a funny one because going by 001, he's going to have to be someone with like a Civil War era accent. Let's see. What's another SCP you would like to see in there?
Let me. It's only two. There's SCP. I believe it's the it's the weird gender bending uh putty. I don't remember which one that was, but basically what it does is you touch it, but it does change your gender, but it goes through this horrific process of changing your cellular structure, and it's described as a nauseating pain, and it makes it so that you almost pass out because it's that painful. And you can change back; you just have to touch again. But there's an additional 25% of death every time you touch it.
That one's going to mess with some SJWs, isn't it?
It will. Just give them that stone, like, okay, you want a sex change? Well, here you go. But every time you touch it, you're going to get 25% more chance of death.
Well, there's that part, and the part where they're going to scream, "What about the other 175 genders?"
Oh God, I can imagine. Ooh,
That's going to be fun.
yeah.
What was the other one?
I think it's called the Room of Hate. Um, or I think it's a Room of Hate or something. It's basically the SCP where it's an ordinary room, but the thing is, anybody that walks in there, like sometimes they can walk out, but some of them will die, and
And get turned
literally,
to furniture?
yeah, basically.
I remember that one.
Like I always thought that was a interesting one, and oh, there's also SCP-2521. It's the one with the dots, and there's no technical name for it.
The one where right after you learn about it, you forget about it?
Uh, no, it's the one where literally if you look it up, it just shows just two dots slash then five dots slash two then slash one, then it's literally it's literally almost impossible to find out what that SCP's name is. But the reason why I like this one is because it's basically a weird phantom thing where it only likes information that's spoken about it, like say documents, data, or being spoken to, but symbols confuse it. And what
Oh,
they did was they put
sorry, go ahead.
you go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just saying I read about that one a little while ago. I'm sorry about that.
Well, it's all right. But yeah, it's basically the phantom thing that if you write about or speak about it, they'll just come and take it or take you in particular.
So you have to use emojis.
Yeah, basically, it's the only way to confuse it. In fact, I might have the link to that one if I can post in uh the Hangout chat. There we go.
One other thing I was thinking of was since I can't like do all the SCPs simply because some of them are just beyond special effects abilities. Uh, Maybe putting in some of the people from what's it called? The creepy pastas.
Ah, all right.
Like that. What's that one where he cut out his eyelids and put a huge smile on his face?
Um,
Something the killer.
Jeff the Killer.
Yeah, maybe had someone like him or Slender Man. Have an
Hmm.
episode about them where it turns out they're SCPs or something like that.
That that'd be really fascinating and interesting. In fact, I think in the SCP Foundation, there's a semi-implied, um, sort of Slender Man SCP already, but a lot of people think it's the one, the Phantom that I just said, either that or it's the either that or it's the other dude that it teleports away from your vision or something.
Those things from Minecraft.
No, it's not. I'm not trying to talk about Minecraft. It's
I know, but I mean, I was making a little bit of a joke because there's a set of characters in Minecraft where if you look them in the eye, they attack you. If you're not looking directly at them, they will teleport around. The
oh, I see.
Endermen, I think they're called.
Oh, I see. It's been years since I've even played that game. So last time I played it, you only had the landscape, creepers and zombies, and that was it. Like the last time I played Minecraft was years ago, so I don't know the new stuff.
Let's see, they still got the creepers, the zombies. They got cows, wolves, villagers, wizards, and these things are called, I guess, Endermen. You kill them, collect Ender crystals, which lets you build teleporters to the end, where you kill the Ender Dragon, and that's about it. And the only
Ah,
way to kill the Endermen is with water, or that's the easiest way to kill them. I
nah,
watch far too many videos.
yeah. Well, I gotta get to bed myself because I have things I have to do in the morning. But before I go, I just want to tell you about my absolute favorite SCP 666. It's Jeff can't ever drive.
What's uh, I wasn't expecting the name to go with the number, but what kind of SCP is it?
It's a it's an SCP joke file, but it's so ridiculous that nobody really takes it seriously. But it's basically this man where no matter what he does, if he drives in a vehicle, everything's going to get destroyed. Like he drives through, say, a town on a moped, it's the equivalent of an F9 tornado destroying the entire town or all around them.
Awesome.
Basically, he's the worst driver on Earth, and any passengers that is accompanying him are guaranteed to die at some fashion or form, and somehow people around them that are not in the vicinity or not in the car but are in the vicinity lose all consciousness and they immediately start jumping or running and jumping in front of the path of the vehicle that he's using. And basically, he's like the ultimate collateral damage driver. And the thing is, he's always come out alive and perfectly fine. But every time he drives around anywhere, it's destruction.
You know, that sort of gives me an idea.
What?
Maybe do an episode with him and the SCP equivalent of the White Lady. You know, the one where you drive by her, she hitchhikes, gets in the car, and that.
Oh, I see. That's a good idea.
I, I, I suddenly want to combine the two, like have him drive by her, and instead of wanting to get in the car, she throws herself in front of it. But since she's a ghost, she goes right through it.
That's a good one. my
Oh, go ahead.
my idea is like the indestructible lizard
Yes.
somehow gets I think its name is Dr. Gerald, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. But
Wait, are you
somehow,
talking about the one that kills everything?
yeah, the doctor that drives around everything, it's the same SCP I just mentioned.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the lizard was Dr. Gerald.
Oh, no. But anyways, you get that guy that drives around everywhere, that destroys everything. You get the lizard, somehow sedate him, and just have an episode where people are trying to get that indestructible lizard in a truck and have the doctor drive on purpose, just to try and get rid of it.
That's that sounds pretty good. Or um, put him in the same area as Abel when Abel's about to wake up.
Oh, I see. That's a
And
good
then
one.
set off the nuke.
That's the quickest way to destroy everything.
Oh, real quick, two more things. All right, one of the SCPs I remember reading about was a button that restarts everything, and apparently it's been used several times before.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's kind of like, isn't it like the Big Bang where you touch it and it reboots everything?
Yes, and they also have a place up in the middle of nowhere where uh, humanity is sort of stored, and when that button is pressed, it starts us off at like sometime during the 1600s, and everybody walks out of the place and starts to rebuild society starting from 1600 or so.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be a major part of the show also, because the guy that is in charge of the button is 01, and it has been used before several times because and the only people that can remember it being used are uh, the entity inside the foundry, um, 353 or 343, the god one, and my character, because my character is the one that is in charge of the button. Like I said, he's not in a whole lot of scenes because he's overpowered. He can restart the universe. God, because God created everything except the lizard creature, and the entity inside the foundry, because isn't that supposed to be like the devil SCP wise?
Yeah, I I think I remember that SCP. Isn't it SCP-666J? Um, I think I'm not entirely sure.
I read about it in 001 during when he was talking about the battle with the fairies.
Oh, I see. I see.
Because remember, he said how he watched everyone die, so he ran, went into the foundry, found the entity. Entity said, "I can make this so it never happens. Just send me people every now and then."
Oh, I see. I remember now. Sorry, I got a little confused there, but yeah, I definitely remember what you're saying there. The how the entity sort of said that he can make that all go away, and they didn't didn't they make a temporary pact or something? Or I wouldn't say pact, but
It's a permanent deal.
yeah, a deal.
That's why he's immortal.
Mm,
He in the show he signs a deal, but he doesn't give all of the Foundation people that died to the guy or to the thing, but a
a good
good
portion.
portion of it. Yeah. Let's see. In fact, I'm going to give away part of one of the things about the show. My character, like I said, is arguing with the god SCP, and he gets to the part where he says, "You made my life. I would say you made my life a living hell, but I've been to hell. By the way, the devil wants to know if you want him to bring a casserole for Christmas. Everything I read up to this point, I thought you guys were enemies. Here it turns out to be your friends. What the hell's going on?"
That's good.
Wait, honestly, or were you being nice?
Honestly, it's pretty good writing there. Just having that casual,
Argument?
yeah, that little argument, and having God saying, "Oh, God want," or not God, the devil wants a casserole, and
No, the devil wants to bring a casserole for Christmas.
yeah, I found that comment right there just injected so subtly in the writing seemed pretty good to me.
Um, Part of it is, like I said, he presses the button to restart the universe at certain points, and it's at this point there. God doesn't exactly tell him, but he gives him like little what's the word he has things happen that sort of give a signal that it's
Oh,
getting closer to pressing the button.
hints.
Uh, not so much hints; they happen in every single timeline that hint that that say it's coming, so be ready to push the button. It's benchmarks,
Hmm. Yeah, I guess that's what they are.
and the benchmarks were supposed to start like a couple years ago, but there's been nothing, and God's not telling him what's going on. Like why everything changed this time around.
Hmm.
Hello.
I'm here. Uh, that's a uh, I'm here. That's it's a good idea to have the God character just basically be so of that. Then all of a sudden he stops doing that. That's a pretty good story element. But I really gotta get to bed.
Okay. I'm
Sorry
sorry
if
for keeping you up so late, though.
that's it's all right. I just need some sleep because I realize the longer I'm up, the less sense I'm going to make trying to respond.
All right. It's been nice talking to you. Nice meeting you. And I'm trying to decide whether I should keep this up or make it private for now, at least.
Well, it's totally up to you. Like, if you want to keep it private, that's totally fine, or make it public. More or
It was
less.
just silence for the first few minutes because I was still trying to figure out how to do this.
Hmm, I see. Usually, I make all my stuff public only because I like to look back at my own faults and improve upon them, and I'm just that very public person, basically.
I'll leave it public then. Um, have a good night, and it was nice meeting you.
All right. Well, take care.
Later. And to anybody watching, hope you enjoyed and have a good night.